if I look and say who was successful, first of all, they didn't believe their own bullshit, right? They figured out very quickly that the pipeline wasn't there. And they said, okay, I built something, nobody wants to buy it, I better figure out how to make it something people want to buy, or I better go buy something people want to buy, or I better do something, instead of believing that it was just around the corner. I think the second thing is, generally, I would say people who have a passion for what they're building are doing better than the hired guns or the you know, I remember somebody pitching me a deal, and I said, well, how do you know anything about this market? He said, I studied it for a whole quarter. And that was in the pitch. And I was like, okay, well, wow. So, I mean, I think that people who have a passion and an understanding, a deep understanding of the market they're addressing, make it through because they're trying to solve a real problem and they're focused on solving a real problem. I think people who saw this as an opportunity to get wealthy had a real hard time figuring out what to do when get wealthy business plans don't work very well when you have to figure out how you actually do that. I think that the ones who treated cash like the precious thing it is, who even though they could raise it at obscene valuations, still metered it out like it was coming out of their pocket, did very well because they hoarded the money. And people who hoarded the money, the luckiest people in the world are people who raised it at 99 valuations and put it away, right? And those people still made it. And that's where I would definitely say the ones who managed to get out in an IPO and got intelligent about that had big war chests to work with, and that, you know, that helped those companies a lot. But in terms of you know, a young person not being sufficiently qualified or whatever, and I guess the last thing I would say is cohesive teams. If I look at my companies that survived, they were ones where like the 4 people or the 5 people got in a huddle and said, let's make it successful. As opposed to some other companies where they would go, you screwed this up. Right now, sometimes somebody did screw it up, but the ones that happened to have gotten the team gel before they went into the misery generally came out the other side a lot better.